Very good morning, all, and welcome to the second. Very good morning, all, and welcome to the day two first session. And today's speaker is Professor Vikas Thakur. He's an assistant professor in School of Management and IT, Rourkela. He holds a doctoral degree in operations management from IIT Roorkee, operations and supply chain management. His interest area are basically production and operations management, quality management, supply chain and reverse supply chain management, logistics and distribution. He worked on various sponsored projects, one from Ministry of Law and Justice and ICSSR, and he have a publication in a various peer-reviewed journal and presented his work in a leading international conferences. So in today's session, we will be focusing primarily on operational challenges in developing a sustainable business ecosystem. So without wasting any of the time, I'll give this podium to Vikas Thakur sir and the presenter and the participants. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Manvinder Pratap Singh. So first of all, I would like to congratulate both of you for this great venture where I think more than 140 faculties are joining. So, and I wish all the very best for this event. So, good morning, all the participants. I can see only less than 40 people are there. So, if you'll say yes, I will proceed. No problem.
Yes, sir. Please proceed. Please proceed. The time is 10 o'clock. Please proceed.
Okay, so we'll not wait for them. So, I once again I welcome you all participants. So let me share my screen with you. So I hope my PPT is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the today's session is on operational challenges in building a sustainable business ecosystem. So as we know, we are all faculties are here. So even you people will not expect a kind of lecture from me, and I will not also deliver a kind of lecture to you because all are faculties. So I think this platform we can explore more, we can discuss, and we can find out maybe the future directions. So where we can work together. So yes, sustainability is the hot topic. As already done, I have done my PhD in waste management, and that area is focused in healthcare waste management. That's all about me. So first, yes, this lecture or this conversation with you is not very structured, and just I have combined some of the recent thoughts, whatever strike in my mind when we talk about sustainability, and will not go very structured way, the definitions and what are the various perspectives and all those things. So let's talk about the operational challenges when we think of sustainability. So as of now, we'll define maybe later on sustainability. But as of now, what I feel, more than 99% of the organizations who are into business, they are doing business only if it is possible after altering one of the three dimensions of sustainability. Right? So either you are disturbing the profit, either you are disturbing the people, or you are disturbing the environment. So without disturbing any of these three, I don't think you can make any business. So many examples are there on the negative side, many maybe few examples on the positive side we'll see. Why I'm making this statement? We talk a lot about sustainability, many international conferences, workshops, many journals are there who are publishing related to sustainability. But yes, it's a big question. So let's start with the very small discussion. When we talk about sustainability, if I ask you people how we can make this workshop or this FDP as a sustainable program, yes, I cannot see. I hope I am there on the screen. I don't know I am there on the screen or not.
Sir, can I say?
Yes. So
Sir,
you got my question?
yes, you are talking about how this FDP is sustainable, correct, sir?
No, not FDP is sustainable. How we can make this program sustainable, that without next time without any external input, we can run it on in a sustainable manner.
Okay, sir, as per my understanding, what I feel that we are conducting this FDP and people are connected from various places. So we are not having any impact on environment. We are not using any resources like anything. So it is also one of the method of sustainability. We are not having any negative impact on the environment. We are not consuming anything unnecessary. We are sitting at our own place. We are using our own electricity and everything. So
yes. Yeah, but yeah, you are explaining in your own context, but my question was a little different. Sustainability, when I'm talking about, it's not that I'm evaluating how this program is affecting the environment or planet and we are not earning any profit. So that is there. And even if I'll ask you to organize the next workshop, maybe after 6 months, so on, if it is going online, so same thing will be there. So there is no point always whenever we are doing online conference, so that is sustainable. No, I'm talking about whatever input. Sustainable is a kind of system. It's not only we are measuring in terms of yes, I'll take your point.
Okay.
We are measuring in terms of only how we are affecting these three things. That is what I want to discuss with you. It's like when this time we got some inputs means whatever we are resources we are using, and biggest resource is I think AICT has sponsored this workshop and they have given some amount. So next time I'm talking about the workshop where we don't need any input sponsor, and we can conduct in a sustainable manner where inputs are managed itself and then outputs are coming, and again those outputs are being processed through input. It's a kind of circular economy I'm talking about, a loop. So yes, it is not affecting environment, but we are using electricity. Okay, very minimal impact on the environment. But talking in terms of how we can make this workshop sustainable, where on the next time, if I'll ask any of the participants, because all are faculty, next these three professors can organize after 6 months, and we don't need any external resources, any funding agency, how we can make it happen. And we need to use the output of only this workshop for conducting the next workshop. Now I think it is clear.
Sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. This is Dr. Preeta from Chennai. Based on the outline you have given, I understand that what we can do is only a suggestion. We can archive the whole workshop, the whole 5-day program, and we can dispense this for future workshops to the participants.
Very right. Very right.
So that can be done.
You have hit the right direction. Yes. What will be the output of this workshop, right? So that output, can we use that output to generate the next time inputs? Yes, of course. And this is how most of and this is not, I'm talking about something new. Most of the existing those societies, those are working. I know from my area, so SOM society is there, decision science is there. So how they are doing business, not business. So for the next time, if you want to generate funds, how we can dispense this time output, so that we can generate the revenue and we can conduct and every 6 months we can meet on this platform. So that is the sustainable example, right?
So I have a question, sir. So
Yes.
what about interaction, that aspect, like the interaction aspect?
Which aspect?
No, sir, the interaction aspect. Will that be missing in this, if in the future if we do a program like that?
No,
The interaction.
interaction. We are doing these online program only for the purpose of interaction only. This platform. See, I'm not going to tell you anything new about sustainability. All of you are well aware. This is well established term, sustainability. Okay, this platform is only for interaction, for future collaboration, where we can find maybe some other colleagues who are working in the same area. We can collaborate on some common projects, and this is what I think I'm going in the right direction. What you have pointed.
Good morning, sir. So can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So I have a question. That when we are following the sustainability or kind of things, so sir, what is the limitation of this?
Yeah,
or what is the drawback?
That is what I'm telling you. That was my first question. If we are doing business, we can't survive if we are not tampering any one of that three pillars. So either
Yes,
you are
sir,
not doing
because
business. If you are doing business,
I read a paper.
Yes.
And they focus 3P, like planet, public, and profit. Without
Yes.
3Ps, we can't do anything. So the,
Yes.
what is the limitation of this then?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Sustainability, is it really feasible to implement the sustainable product, services, or solution? I mean, I told you many examples which are tampering the environment in one way or other, and or other things, exploiting the society, nearby society, and they are earning profit there for profit purpose only. So when you are targeting, you are hitting profit. So talking about sustainability is a big question. That is what I'm saying. I'm not in favor that we can implement this sustainability, the full concept as it is. So that is what I'm saying. So limitations are there. So I'll tell you very interesting story here. Once I visited one healthcare waste treatment facility, and I'll tell you small this example. And there we used to treat the infectious waste at very high temperature, more than 1400 degree temperature. And if you visit that site, so once you will visit, you will not be able to eat for the next 5 or 10 days. Always you will feel like vomiting, right? So that kind of environment is there, and people who are working there, it's not easy to stand there. So they are, and so ISO team for certification, they were visiting at that time the same plant, and people were standing near that chimney where the temperature is more than 1400 degree and incineration was going on. So first question they asked, how we can give this ISO certification for environment and quality management standards, because people are working in very severe conditions. How we can give you certification? So then they asked about the boy who was standing there. So how you can survive within that high temperature? So answer from that boy was कि जब पेट की गर्मी ज्यादा होती है तो बाहर की गर्मी जो है वो भूल जाते हैं. So when you are not able to meet your basic requirements, so you will forget about these ISO certification and all that. You have to work. And what is the other way out? Is there any way out? No. If someone is working in the steel industry, he or she has to bear that temperature, whatever. So that is what I'm saying. Most of the industries, they are working, they are exploiting environment. And without doing that, we can't imagine that they can work. SAIL is continuously 24 hours, 24/7 emitting pollution. They are maintaining here in Rourkela. If you have visited, I don't know how many of you have visited, but they have maintained very good infrastructure for the local society, and they are saying that they are compensating this because they are continuously polluting the nearby environment. But So this is kind of the concept. If I'm giving birth to 5 people, 5 persons, so I can kill 2 or 3 out of them. So yes, this is the basic question which I'm raising, that sustainability, is it possible really? So that is what I want to say. So yes. So now why operation management, supply chain management? When we talk about production operation management, operational challenges, only 2 main areas, either operation management or supply chain management. Operation management, we are converting raw material into finished one. Long process is there, manufacturers, intermediate manufacturers are there, distribution channels, supply chain, that is there. So some way or other, we are exploiting the environment, we are extracting the resources, we are converting into those resources into some final product, and then we are delivering. And now why we are yes, you can mute yourself because if you want to ask any question, you can interrupt in between. Otherwise, you keep your phone on. Hello.
Dear participants, it is a request to all of you. Please mute yourself because it distracts.
Yes. So yes. So now operation management and supply chain management, all of you are aware. I'll not spend any time on this, but yes, now why we are after this, and the picture on the screen is obvious. So this is present government ambitious plan, Make in India, self-reliant India. So how we can contribute maximum to our GDP
So,
by
I have
making
a
it.
question.
Yes, yes. So yes, let me complete this picture, and we'll take your question. So yes, so whenever I see this lion or tiger, I don't know what it is, lion. So yeah, so whenever I see this, this reminds me a very famous incident, and that led to the economic disruptions in 2008, followed by Lehman Brothers bankruptcy, and then Satyam Computers bankruptcy. And when Mr. Ramalinga Raju, he resigned, so he mentioned it was like riding the tiger, and I was not knowing how to get down out of it, and without being eaten. So I know there was something fraud was going on, but I could not control, and that accumulated to 8,000 crores. So this lion is, after all the industrialists, after all the ministries, Niti Aayog, how we can generate more entrepreneurs. So basically, we are forcing people. We don't have job opportunities, so let's be an entrepreneur. So a very structured approach we are following, and many IITs, IIMs, and NITs, they are opening up these business incubation centers. And success rate is really a question for this. But yes, again, I will go for that point. How many of Indian organization, like big organization, they have come up with this structured approach? Whether we talk about Philips, Havells in India, Hero Cycles in India, Reliance in India. So how many of these organizations, they have come up with this structured approach where you are getting the business incubation centers in the institutes, and you are being trained how to be entrepreneur. I mean, it's really very tough to teach how you can be entrepreneur. Same like how you can implement the system.
मेरे भी लगातार लगाएं.
Noise is yes. Please you mute yourself if you are not. Yes. Now I'll take your question. Somebody was saying something. Yes.
Yes, sir. My question was that you are only talking about the sustainability or about the information related to the environment only from the operation management and supply chain management. But I think, sir, it's also include the human resource management, because the main management is the human resource, and they are making the policies. So
Yes.
I think about this is the important thing that sustainability is also taken by the human resource management.
Yeah.
Because sir, I'm a human resource management student or a research scholar.
Yes. Why not? So without human, can you think of this planet? No, I'm
No,
talking
sir.
about sustainability for whom? For planet. I'm talking about that sale is continuously, steel companies are continuously emitting pollution, and that will affect to whom? People only, human only. So human element is important. And I told you these three pillars. I'm just not pointing out the definitions because everyone knows what is the definition of sustainability, but how it is affecting the operational management productions. I mean, how production, supply chain, operation management uh, uh, is a big challenge. Is a big challenge. We cannot target the sustainability. That is what I'm saying. The basic limitation. I'm not saying the our pointing that this can be eliminated and sustainability can be implemented. I'm just saying on the very practical ground that sustainability is not feasible, possible for most of the organizations where we cannot change the conditions, work environment. We have to pollute the environment, only then we have to extract the crude oil, we have to extract the ore from the minings and all that, only then we can convert into steel, we can convert into iron or some other things, whatever we are doing, right? And human element is very, very important. So later on we'll discuss, if you'll allow me. So we'll cover more examples, we'll cover all these aspects. So just a small video, just to not. So just a small video to start with, what is the situation of operation management, and we people are sitting in the AC room and we are talking about that sustainability should be there. Very light video, but yes. Yeah, audience. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can see the video.
Yes, sir.
We can see that there is.
Audio is not there.
Audio is not there. Okay, audio is not required. Otherwise, only you got the message. So when we are working in those conditions, we are always pressure is there, and you have to meet the targets either because of season is there or huge demand is there, and we are talking about sustainability. So yes, is a big question. Only thing is these production companies and also your supply chain management, our main concern is how we can reduce the cost, how we can cut the cost. Yes, obviously cutting the cost or minimizing the uses of resources will add to sustainability, but yes, still the basic question will remain same, and I'll highlight with some of the examples. Let's now one more point for discussion. All of you might be sitting in your office or maybe at home. Can you give me one or two examples? Just right now, you are surrounded by, you are seeing that either they are adding to sustainability or they are against the sustainability. One or two example. Yes.
Sir, I have an example. In my college, Triple ID Allahabad,
Okay.
there is sorry, sir. सो इन माई कॉलेज वहाँ पे जो एसी, सर जैसे आपने बोला कि हम अपने ऑफिस में बैठ के एसी यूज करो, सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे एक वाटर कंप्रेसर लगा रहता है जो डे टाइम में जो कॉलेज में एसी सप्लाई होती है वो पूरे एक सेंट्रलाइज वे में सप्लाई की जाती है, और उस टाइम हम एसी यूज नहीं करते, वो एक वाटर कंप्रेसर होता है, वहां से एक जगह से वो ठंडी हवा क्रिएट करके पूरे बिल्डिंग में और पूरे जितनी भी बिल्डिंग्स है वहाँ पे सप्लाई की जाती है.
And I would like to add into this example only how when most of the time these conferences on sustainability and workshops on sustainability are going on, and we are sitting in the AC room, and almost all the luxury items, okay, forget about the basic necessity, but when we are talking about the luxury items, what about AC continuously emitting heat outside the environment, leading to global warming? Or forget about that heat. Heat is a kind of energy. Can't we think of how we can utilize, channelize this heat for some positive purpose? And what about the outlet pipe from where the continuously water is coming out? So how we can, yes, the quantity is less, but then we can channelize this, we can use for gardening purpose. And if we talk about wastage of water, how many times we are using the wash basin to wash your hands or other stuff. So can't we channelize that outlet pipe through the flush so that we can use that for flushing purpose? But we never think in that direction. Or we can maybe we can purify so that it should not choke the pipes, and then we can use at the flush, in the flush. So yes, so these are some of the examples where we are continuously, because water scarcity is also there. There are some areas where, last year or last year also, you might have heard about that news. So Indian Railway, so that was a big fight, how they supplied water to those areas. So drought conditions were there. So yes, in a country like India or China, where it is heavily populated, so we cannot think of anything going waste. So that very basic or fundamental rule that either you cannot create energy, you cannot destroy energy, but yes, important how you can convert this heat energy into something else where you can use this heat, right? So yes, means many companies, organizations, NGOs, governments, they are working on this, and just putting green text will not work anymore. And green text will add green text for your car registration purpose, vehicle registration purpose. Will add green text value when you will enter into our state boundaries, but that is only for collection purpose. You are generating your revenue. That money will not create environment. Okay, it's your own efforts. You will start using these luxury things, only then that will happen. So that is my basic point. Whenever we are talking about the luxury things, we are obviously tampering one of the element, one of the pillar of that basic sustainability dimension, right? So let's talk about some of the leading economies. And now I want to discuss why now India also want to be in that race, or why other leading economies are in that race. You can clearly see India, China started at the same point. They were at the same position. India was little ahead at that time, 1990. But now you see China is 5 times bigger economy than India. They are 5 times richer than India. So let's talk about now, compare these two, because always we compare with China and India, and that sounds logical also, because population wise we are on the same side, and moreover we started initially at the same point, but we lack somewhere. And the reason maybe, you see the GDP share in Indian market, somewhere industry, manufacturing is saturated around 30%. Services we are doing fairly well, and agriculture is continuously coming down. And reasons are many, either political or whatever you want to say, or economical conditions are not good. But yes, I want to point out the industry perspective and services. So industry perspective, that's why maybe the current government highlighted this policy vision that we should now focus on making in India. At the same time, if I'll come with China's GDP, you can see that manufacturing share was above the service sector. Now service sector has overtaken the manufacturing sector, but otherwise, that's why if you talk about lighting solution, any lighting solution you are buying in the market, I mean, I cannot say even that every second product you will get from made in China. No. So sometimes on the road, 10 products will be from China. So if any technology is there, so even China, Vietnam, these countries are doing well. I mean, compared to India. And toys industry completely hijacked by Chinese industry. So there was some message in the WhatsApp that and we are saying vocal for local, so we should use our own product, we should ban Chinese product. At the same time, China Chinese industry, they came up with the concept. They started selling the stickers, ban Chinese product, and these stickers are coming from China only. I don't know the reality, but yes, that was message in the WhatsApp, and that is reality too. So they know how to generate business. So from everywhere. So if you are emotional kind of, even then they will play with your emotions and they will enter into emotional market also. So that is what my point is. These are some of the facts, figures already highlighted by me. So China's GDP is now, you can compare 5 times greater than this. See, this is interesting. In 1990, China produced less than 3% of the global manufacturing output. But in 2018, this share is 28%. This is something very, very significant. And India is still at that position. We are producing only 3%. So why now this question is that we are still, and now we cannot say that India is not favorable location for manufacturing. You can see India ranks third if we talk about cost competitiveness, and operating conditions are very, very good, and you can get the cheap labor also like China. So, but still you see our share is only 3% and China's share is around 30%. And even the global manufacturer, they can get the cheap labor, but they are not coming here. That's why when we started at one point in 1990 at the same time, and now if we talk about their income, per capita income is around 6 to 7 lakh, our per capita income is less than 1 lakh. So that is the big gap, and that's why that justifies why Chinese are 5.5 times richer than Indian. Another reason maybe cost scenario is good, third position after China and Vietnam, but risk scenario, again something I would like to point out. Two basic risks, financial risk or political risk. Political stability is there in the government, but yes, because when we talk about political scenario in India, so there are maybe some government, they are sometimes sponsoring one particular sector. Other government will come, they will not sponsor that much to that particular sector. So that depends upon their agenda, and whatever it is, will not talk because we can't control much. So let's talk about the financial structure of Indian market. As far as my knowledge is concerned, because I'm not of this area, but yes, still our financial structure, I believe, is very strong. Even after that bankruptcy happened in Lehman Brothers in US, and in 2008, the whole world was in a recession, but still we were doing good. So because our financial structure is little strong, if you are visiting bank for the loan, so they will give you loan only after keeping some security. So even if you are not able to pay back, they will do something with your property and sell your property and will generate some revenue. So even still investing in Indian market, we can see earlier, but now things are changing rapidly. You can get the loan, even means security is at a reduced level. So those things are there. So, but yes, still I believe that Indian financial structure is a little stable. So now this is the ambitious plan by our government, and we want to increase the manufacturing share in GDP by 25%, and the target is to create these many jobs by 2022. But the scenario, global scenario, is little different, opposite, and we know that is happening because of what. So anyways, whatever may be the excuse, but the thing is that we are not even able to we are not able to even maintain that level. So people are losing their jobs because of this pandemic, and things are happening. But still I cannot relate, like I cannot relate the sustainability concept with the companies which cannot survive without exploiting environment. Still I cannot relate. We are getting all-time high GST collection, but still jobs are not there. So it's a big question for me. I cannot explore what is the reason behind that. We are getting more than 1 lakh crore GST, and that was all-time high, but still we are not getting jobs. Yes. So we want to develop skills. That's why that business incubation centers are there. We are upgrading skills. Okay. And the big question is sustainable development. We want sustainable development. And present government also means they are coming with so many campaigns for sustainable development, Clean India movement, Swachh Bharat, and everything is going on in that direction. I will not say that nothing is happening. Yes, things are going on. This is that definition I was talking about. But let's not go through this because everything is okay, still in a question mark, and will be we'll see how we'll proceed further. Yes, so we are when we talk about sustainability, capital formation may come in the terms of finance, which is very important. I should not say you stop making profit. Then there is no business. Business means money, generate money. So that means if we are doing business, so we have to generate capital for the stakeholders, for the investors who are there with us since so long. We cannot say, okay, you will not, this time you will not get any share out of that. That's why we are doing business. Again, second capital is human capital, which one of the participants highlighted is very, very important. I have mentioned this. Yes, but how to, it should not be that we should utilize whatever skill you are having. We need to, groom that skill to the next level. That's why somewhere I read in HR, because it's not my specialization, that career path, defining career path is very important. You should not feel saturated whenever you are in an organization. So always you are coming with new challenges, you are evolving yourself, you are getting all the opportunities, and that is happening. Social capital. So when wherever you are located, what you are doing for those societies, kind of schools, education facilities. Here I think SAIL is doing fairly well. They have come up with many hospitals, road infrastructure good. They are maintaining the condition, environment. This is very beautiful city. I belong to Himachal Pradesh, but this is, I think, after Chandigarh, is the best city I ever have seen in India. So very beautiful city, and credit I think goes to SAIL only. I don't have so much knowledge about the establishment because only 2-3 years here. So, but yeah, I could see many developments are going through SAIL plant. Steel Authority of India, that is Rourkela Steel Plant is there. So they are doing. So how you are maintaining the natural capital? This is what I'm saying. When AC pipe, outlet pipe, some water is flowing out of that. So how you can utilize that? That closed loop should be there. Nothing should be open to the environment. Nothing should be open to out of that circle. Nothing should go out. Nothing should go come in. So you are maintaining your resources, you are not getting anything out of that. That is sustainable. Now, my question is, again, point of discussion. Can you imagine this kind of system or organization? Nothing is going out, nothing is coming in. That is sustainable, right? But yes, you might have seen some latest videos. If you can type, you can go through in YouTube. Sustainable business or sustainable house. One couple is there in Kerala, I think. They have built up one sustainable house. It's a little big video, so I don't want to show here. But yes, you go through that video. Whatever their requirement they are generating, they are living in rest. And for freezing purpose, as a freezer, they are using some mud-made freezers kind of thing. They are preserving their vegetables there. So it's very nice video. Whatever lighting is required, they are maintaining somehow. Yes.
Yeah.
So
it is the cost of the house is only 4 lakh rupees.
Yes, 4 lakh rupees. Yes, that I'm talking about that video only. So yes, how you can use that renewable energy without affecting environment. Now, you want to fly in the sky. You want to have the best car in the world. You want all time surrounded by AC because humidity and all that conditions we cannot bear. And then we are talking about sustainability. So this is the big question. And the condition with this operation, this production manufacturing organization, that you want me to produce mobile, if it is costing you 10,000, you want that it should be 8,000, it should be 9,000, it should be 7,000, 5,000. how you can reduce the cost. This pressure is always there because competitors are there. And so then talking about this sustainability is a question. Let's see further how we can, these are some sustainable goals, all are aware. So we want equality for everyone, we want food for everyone, no poverty, everyone getting education, climate is very good, fantastic, we are doing fairly well, justice everyone is getting. What we are talking, is it really feasible? Any point is feasible? This is, yeah, I know this is 2030 agenda, but any of this point, that means then I will not work anything. I will sit because everything we are getting self-sustainable. That means this is self-sustainable system where we are talking about these things. You are getting justice within time, and you know. Yes, sound is coming from, yes, mute yourself. So I was working on one of the ministry project. Many cases are pending, check bounce cases. So around I think 3 crore cases are pending. 3 crores, can you imagine? 3 crore people are waiting for their payments. So check bounce cases are there, and we are talking about equal justice and all that. Is it feasible? How much we can increase the infrastructure, how many judges strength we can increase, but still means these are some of the operational challenge. So let's skip this. Now these are the leading economies doing very good. China always you appreciate, US you will appreciate, but see how CO2 emission from these leading economies. As long as we are talking about India, we are doing good because we are not producing much. So we can say our contribution is lesser as per capita tons. So yes, but the problem is these some of overambitious economies like China and Russia, the concept we as global, we have to work in a unique direction. We cannot say that India should work on sustainability, China should not work on sustainability. This is something will come from every nation. This has to come from every nation. And whatever is happening in Afghanistan and Talibanis, and they are doing all those things, and we are talking about sustainability. So yes, they are using those type of weapons, they are using all the ammunition and environment. So big question. So let's not talk about those worst condition. We'll talk about some good conditions. Maybe we can talk about USA, India. They at least they are showing concern whenever they are giving any speech that we are concerned about sustainability. How much that you know. So these are some of the challenges. So security issues, you all are aware what happened. Now I'm putting question and points for discussion. So this is first question: security, safety, justice for everyone. We are talking. This is big question, and it's not a small place. It's a VVIP space. Okay, so when terrorists can attack VVIP space, so what about the Mango people? So who will ask them? So it's a question, big question. Another thing, we are going online, e-commerce website, everything is happening online, transaction, Paytm, all we are doing, and system is hacked, and then you are worried. And you might have heard about the latest news. I'll quote 1.5 months, I think, approximately. There was news that all these passengers who are traveling last 2 years or 4 years, I don't know, but passengers data that have been leaked and has been hijacked. So that means all their personal details, traveling details, their account details, now they are with those people, kind of terrorist. So then we are talking about online and digital platform, Digital India. So it's again a big question. That's why we are so much worried. And latest case of Pegasus. So I don't know whether this is a reality or not, but yeah, there is something, maybe very small, very little, but it's so big, has been posed so big, but our house could not work even single full day. So I don't know whether it is reality or not, but it has affected so much. So our House Parliament, whole time that Pegasus was going on and nothing positive could come out of that. Okay, when many competitors are there, so challenges are there, many resources we want to exploit, we want many people, and then Jio suddenly will shut down the Reliance communication and will come with Jio. And now the plan is for next 1 year you'll get everything free, free data, free calling, free message, free everything, free food, everything you are getting, free phone. And what will happen? Because no one is doing charity here. So it's a big question for sustainability, for business sustainability. So what about other players? And you know what happened with Vodafone, Hutch, Idea could not survive. Okay, Airtel is a big company somehow, but BSNL and so let's not talk about BSNL. So condition challenges are other. So yes, as a competitor, you want to exploit. So I'm not worried about how many phones are obsolete now, and Jio is coming with Jio phone, smartphone, Wi-Fi device, and all those things. So millions of these appliances or means equipments and Wi-Fi devices now out of date, because you can just insert the Jio SIM only and then you will enjoy 1 year free. So after 1 year, I'll put heavy expenses. This is what now it is happening. And then again, I'll switch to the other system. I'll look for some other SIM, some other player. So forget about use and throw is the thing. So again, environmental healthcare challenges. Let's not talk about COVID-19 because people are so much frustrated, and this word last 1.5 year, more than 1.5 year, has stopped everything, our lives, everything. That's why we are now I'm talking to my laptop. The biggest problem is I'm talking to my laptop. If I'm giving session for FDP, after this I'm having one lecture, I'll talk to my laptop. After that, maybe one presentation, research synopsis, I'll again talk to my laptop. So all time I'm talking to laptop. I will forget talking to people. So this is, I don't know what advancement we are achieving, and now we are into cage. This is a kind of advancement and luxury we are using when we are putting ourselves into cage and we cannot go out, we cannot breathe fresh air because there is infection everywhere. So waste is coming everywhere. Earlier infectious waste was coming from hospitals only, and now even if you are throwing garbage out of your home, I doubt and 100% sure maybe it is COVID infected. So if virus is there, I will not touch. So now earlier, whatever waste, if 100 kg waste is coming out from any hospital, 20 kg is only infectious and 80 kg is general waste. We can recycle, reuse that waste, and all those things were happening. Now forget about hospital waste, that everything is now infectious, but whatever is coming from quarantine centers, home, now that is also infectious. So studies are coming with, I'm working in this area, and believe me, this infectious waste quantity has increased more than 350 times, more than 350 times. This is a big number. It's not, it has doubled 10 times, 15 times. I'm talking about more than 300 times. So now think about all those waste treatment plants which were treating only 10 kg waste. Now they had to treat 400 kg waste. But about their capacity, how they will do that? But maximum waste is going out in the environment. And I would like to show, quickly jump to that picture, because I think we are running short of time. I just want to show that picture, this picture. So now this is the situation. This is the waste. This is how we are managing. These are the challenges in now, not only in India. This, I'm not talking about Indian healthcare waste only. This is scenario everywhere, because you see, if earlier 100 kg waste was coming out of hospital, now everything coming from the household also. We were using composting for fertilizer purpose and all that. Now we cannot do that because that may be infected. So what we can do in that case? So Yes, again is a big question. This picture you can see now. You earlier they were recycling plastic material, they were segregating, they were sending for recycling. So now can you imagine this thing? Not possible. So this market is also gone. So this is my latest paper, framework for pastel dimensions of sustainable healthcare waste management learnings from COVID-19 outbreak. This has been published in 2021 in Journal of Cleaner Production. So if you'll get chance, you can go through this paper, purely talking about all the pastel dimensions, sustainability dimensions, political, economic, social, technological, environmental, legal dimensions. So, and in the end, I have proposed one framework how we can maintain the sustainability. I am not sure whether this will add, how much this will add, but yes, we need to initiate the process. We need to open up more waste treatment plants so that we can handle this type of waste coming out of health outbreaks, because more than 300 times waste we are getting now, quantity is increased. And another paper is again in the same journal, that is talking about, this is that was published in 2019, where we talked about, yes, the one lady was talking about human, you see I'm from operation management, but the title is human operation and technological factors. So yes, you are there, I believe. Yes. So this is another, yes, this is another paper where I have talked about the home appliances industry and how we can define the sustainability for those organizations. But again, I'm not favor that we can do that, because all the home appliances like talking about ACs, freezers, cooler, washing machine, dishwashers, juicer, mixer, grinder, whatever appliances you are using, you know the average age is not more than 10 to 12 years. So after 10 to 12 years, this much e-waste you are going to generate, and this is coming from 1.4 crore people, not only 140 crore people, but yes, we are also a very big hub for importing the electronics waste to India. We are importing the waste from other countries to reuse, recycle. So that concept of reuse, reduce, recycle is there. But then again, as a customer, as a consumer, I'll tell you, when I'll say, if I'll market, I have made this product from a material which has been reused, and this is fresh one. So obviously customer will pick the fresh one. So if you are going to buy steel and it is from Tata Steel, and it is another player is JSW Steel, JSW is much cheaper than Tata, and the basic difference is because Tata is using that directly raw material coming from the mining, but JSW, they have the reprocessing of that steel and then they are generating this. But if as a customer you are paying 3,000 maybe for one piece and you are paying 2,300 for one piece, you will say let's add 700 more, but I am using this steel for my house, I'll not use the reused one. Okay, so as a customer also, we don't want to do those things. So yes, quickly I will cover some of the interesting facts. And yes, here we were. So let's skip, because I think I don't have more than 10 minutes. So yes, so these are some of the operational challenges. Either we are wasting the resources, because yes, when there is the festival season in India, we are buying all the appliances, we are buying automobiles, car, huge demand is there. But what we will do after that demand is over, after 3 months, so that all the resources will be wasted, all the manpower, what we will do, all the machinery, what we will do, so wastage is there. That is Muda. These terms are Japanese terms, because Japanese are doing fairly well as far as quality standard. So my personal belief is, we as operation managers can contribute to sustainability only when we are producing quality product. How we can think redesigning the same appliances, which can, where you can extend the life of the product more than maybe from 10 years to 30 years, maybe 40 years. So then I will say, okay, 20 years sustainability I have added into that product. But yes, completely coming to zero horizon is not possible. But yes, quality is the only thing. I believe quality management is the only thing where we can add sustainability. We can give up this use and throw system, and we can use the product for longer period, right? So these are some of the waste. Let's skip this. These are some of the basic operations production operation management models. But you see why I have included, because most of the models environmental dimension you will not see anywhere. Okay, we are not concerned about society. This is very famous diagram. We are using balance scorecard, we are using quality function deployment. We are not talking about anything society, any environment. We are talking about what are the customer requirements, what are the best techniques we are having to fulfill those requirements. That's it. What is our ranking? That is the important thing. Now this is important, total quality management, and if we'll produce quality products, we can somewhere extend this, right? So earlier supply chain management was local, so we were impacting environment up to very few extent. But now you are going global. You can buy 300 rupee t-shirt coming from China, coming from some other country, Walmart. You can purchase that, but yes, how much environment you are polluting for that? So that is there. So some recent developments, big question for me. I don't know how many of you have observed a big challenge for sustainability. This is first example. You all are aware. Now we should visit the space also, and how much we are generating this pollution. That forget about, if you have money, you have power to pollute the environment, right? This is another interesting fact I would like to highlight. I don't know how many of you are aware. China is now going to create fake moon, and it is a kind of concept. They will use some kind of mirror to reflect the sunlight to China, so that the concept of street lights and lighting solution in the night will be gone. But what about the adverse effect of that? This is can be very big breakthrough if they will come with such technology, where we are using so much energy to lightening up our streets in the night. So if moon is there, brighter moon is there, we can see everything. But then night is there, day is there, some purposes are there. So we are somehow tempering the nature also. Again, another example, how deeper you can go up to depending upon the technology. We are extracting resources, but we are degrading environment, and this is financial sustainability is in question when Bitcoin is coming to Indian market. So how volatile that market will be, how reliable that market will be. So these are some of the points which I personally believe can be very effective for the sustainable development. We have to give up this linear economy system to circular economy. Nothing should go waste out of my kitchen, out of my washroom, out of my AC. Whatever heat is coming out from my AC, water is coming out from my AC, I should channelize it. So how I can channelize? I need to think out of that. Otherwise, I'm polluting environment continuously. Since last 1 hour, I'm interacting with you. So my AC is running. I'm polluting environment. Writing a paper, publishing in some journal is another thing. And seriously, you are responsible for that is another thing. So we need to give up this luxury life. Only then we can talk about sustainability. So we can use cycle. So how many of you, and even including me, we are using it, we know. So throw away, use and throw system. So that we need to work upon. And but again, I'll highlight here. Now we are into that situation where most of the things either we are only on use and throw system. Mask you are using once, you need to throw. Gloves you are using once, you need to throw. Everything, whatever. Clothes you are using once, when you are going outside, you need to wash those clothes. Always wash your hands. Everything. So consumption of these resources. So not only waste increased because of now everything is infected, because of extra uses of now use and throw items like mask, gloves, face shields, goggles, Now we are using, otherwise earlier who was using that? No one, very rare. So pollution mask maybe when you are visiting Delhi or kind of states, so then you are using those masks, otherwise no one. Waste to energy, here I would like to highlight very relevant and very good example, positive side. ACC cement industry I have seen, yes, they are also continuously emitting the pollution, but they are channelizing their waste to generate the electricity, and they are using to generate the pressure. I have visited one plant, ACC plant in Himachal, and they are doing very well. Everything waste, every waste that is coming from a locality, they are using for generating pressure and electricity. Another example is, I don't know how many of you are aware about JCT mills who are into weaving industries. So what they are doing, after extracting sugar from the sugar cane, they are buying that raw material as a raw material, whatever is the left out part of sugar cane, and they are using it to generate and to meet all the electrical requirements. Electricity they are generating, you see, it's a big industry, electricity requirements are huge, and they were getting interrupted electric supply, so they thought of this solution in Punjab, and they have implemented, and they are not only meeting their requirements for their residential areas. More than I think more than 10,000 people are living in the residences provided by them. They are meeting all the energy requirements through that. So another way out is life expansion strategy. I quoted the example how we can extend the life of the AC, life of system, desktop we are using, life of mobile, how we can make it more sustained by implementing quality products. And yes, very important, every product, every company, every brand should go for life cycle assessment of the product, and it's very relevant information. It provides you information that if I'm manufacturing this mobile, so how much it is impacting the 3 dimensions of sustainability, right? How much energy I'm using. If I'll say 10 units of electricity, so to produce those 10 units of electricity, how much nuclear energy, or if it is coming from hydropower station, how much energy I have used, how much environmental resources I have used, up to what extent environment I have degraded. So this is very useful software, life cycle assessment. So if you can buy and you can work on that, it's really good. I think time, we are running out of time. So this is some example of circular economy. Already I have discussed. Yes, any questions and discussions we can discuss. Otherwise, yes, time will be over.
Well, I have something to say here.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Yesterday there was there was Mr. Balachandran was there, and he said very rightly that the people are the companies and organizations, which what they are actually doing is they are creating the desires in mind, right? And because of that desires in mind, people are buying things unnecessarily. So now I think it's the time where we need to work on the mindset actually, because emotions and mindset is the key to control any human and their behavior, right? So if you work on the mindset, and if we try and work on a sort of campaigns, like so that we can reduce the effect of advertisement which directly target the mindset of the human, like they show you a new phone and they urge you to buy or change phone or change your car very frequently. So if we work on that kind of campaigning, that campaigning itself may work, that may do wonders. Right? And if we can assure our customers, our customer base, and give them the trust that yes, even if they are using recycled or reused products, they are getting the quality. I think that can actually help us to reduce the waste or reuse the product cycle.
Very rightly said. First, these people are, creating awareness about new products. It's like how purely this antivirus industry is running. First, I will create virus, then I will provide you antivirus. Okay. So yes, that's why I'm saying that to deliver this message, sustainability, we have to inbuilt in our system. To deliver this message, I consume, I don't know how many units of electricity. AC is continuously running. So this is what I'm saying. Yeah. In personal life, if I'll call my example,
management design and computer design and fashion communication courses. Before that, I was working with the
other lecturers
and the department coordinator. I have worked over there approximately 4 years.
Professor Singh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The 4 years.
It's coming continuously.
No,
sir. Other lectures started.
Industry as a designer.
Yes.
Hello.
So,
yes, sir.
I also, yeah, I'm using very small car here. But yes, when you are going back to your family, always they are asking when we will replace our car. So I also told them, okay, last year I'm going to replace my car. I went to the market and I purchased a new cycle. So then I told to my student, I have replaced my vehicle. They were very excited, and then they saw that I'm on a cycle. But that how long I can sustain with that is a question, because today I have to come for this, sweating all around. You cannot go to car you are sitting, you are using only one seat. All other seats are going vacant. And I'm of that mentality. Once that capacity is unutilized, that remains unutilized forever. If one flight is going from Rourkela to Delhi and 5 seats are vacant, can we use those seats later? So that concept is always there in my mind. Those 3-4 seats are always vacant, we cannot use. But sometimes we have to use. But yes, we need to minimize our desires. We need to minimize the consumption of resources. I would request you to kindly go through that video. One couple from Kerala, how once you will see that video, I'm not sure for the permanent change, but yes, once you will lifetime, go back to my village and I will help the same. At least whenever I'm watching this, I'm at least thinking that whenever I will be back in the state, I will do same. So no emission, no carbon footprints. So that
use it.
So this is coming continuously. I don't know. I was clear.
How they can just find the files. So we will give the introduction to the student to how this can, if their file is missing or they are.
For the participants, they have not muted them, so we are not able to hear you clearly.
Or the different CDR formats or different TSG formats. Before starting off,
dear participant, kindly mute yourself, please.
So student must be understand about the interface of the Photoshop screen.
At the rights, you can mute all.
Their interface
I'm actually here. I'm trying to mute, but the person who is speaking, I'm not able to find out.
Available on the screen, and if it's not used, student can go to the window and they can enable and disable the work program. Introductionary toolbar is very, very important. So first we'll start the student introduction about the toolbars, how they work, what's the function, how their application in the different
Vikas sir, you are muted. Sir, you are muted.
Okay, sir, I'll not slide share. I will just work like this. So this is the layer panel. And the layer panel is very, very important in the Photoshop.
Vikas, you are muted.
Layer palette, because Photoshop as a work as an artwork.
Sir, you are muted.
So multiple
I can see a participant by the name of Neha Arora.
Please, if you can unmute yourself.
Unmuted.
So topics in the Photoshop, which is designer industry. So we will tell about the different application of toolkit or layer introduction. So to be aware how then it works. So there is a multiple. I have also recorded my demonstration in this PPT. I will show you after this slide. So there is the multiple tools red eye
Vikas, you are
brush
muted.
or
Please unmute yourself.
tools, color replacement tools.
Sir, there are one or two participants who's shown as on hold. You can remove them from the meeting so that we don't get the background voice.
Can you please do that, Professor Singh?
Yes, sir.
So we'll get 5 minutes to interact.
I think it is from Neha Arora. I can see Neha Arora who is unmuted.
Yes, yes.
Is it now? It is okay.
No voice is coming. Yes. So I don't know when I was on mute. So I was just saying though, if anyone working in the same area, research, I'm talking about a research area, we can work in collaboration. So it's a platform where all can collaborate. So some of my publications in sustainability, you can go through, we can work together, and all our faculties, all are at same stage. So,
Sir, I am working on this, but the topic is the green human resource management.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that is also very nice topic. Resource management, human resource management, quite very right term. But then if we talk about in terms of sustainability, how much it is adding, like we are saying that green suppliers, name is good, but what is the implication of green supplier is a big question. Like we talk about green HRM practices. So green HRM practices,
Yes,
and
sir,
then people are
originally it's
leaving
green
us.
HRM
So that means our organization is not sustainable. No one is emitting our organization. That is the purpose. No one is leaving our organization, and we need not to enter other people if we are not expanding. So yes, a lot more need we
Sir,
need
please
to
give your email ID. I will share.
Yes.
Sir, your email ID. I would like to share and discuss.
Yes, yes. Your
Well,
voice.
sir, I have a suggestion here.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to add that, if it is possible, like I'm not sure if it is possible or structure of this meeting or not, if we may form some kind of community, maybe a private community, or maybe we can all connect on LinkedIn, to form a community for future conversations, for future ideas and collaboration, because we need collaborations. Without collaboration,
That is what I initially pointed out, how we can make this now group sustainable. So next time, maybe next you two who are on the screen can again come up with this this kind of workshop, and again we will meet, we'll come out with some output, where that output is only for generating some revenue, so that next time we can again organize these kind of sessions. So that is a kind of sustainable, and it's not only for that purpose. Nowadays so many schemes, project calls, so many in the journals also call for papers. So collaboratively we can work, we can share the students, even our PG students, they are doing projects, so they can work some live projects. So yes, that type of system society, so that type of society, yes, why not, we can go for it, why not?
Right, and there is a very good suggestion. Also, I have, maybe we can have a public LMS system, like learning management systems are already available, and there are many open source management systems are there. So if there is any organization, like, or any group of people can start a public LMS. When we say a public LMS, there will be a small expenditure to maintain that site. That's it. So anyone can create their account. They can have, like, if we can record this meeting and put it in the LMS, So it's like
we can
sustainable.
record new videos also. We can shoot some videos in the live space manufacturing organization,
Right.
talking about sustainability, talking about other learning perspectives. We can share on our that website. Yes. Why
And
not?
apart from
So
that,
that is a
we also
platform.
have, yeah, apart from that, we also have virtual office systems are also available. Because like
Yes.
I know a little bit of, I do some kind of a little very much, a very small research on new technologies and things are coming. So virtual offices are also there. So you are virtually connected every time. Like whether
Yes.
you're not talking to each other, you are already connected. You can work in collaborations, and you don't have to even, maybe in our whole lifetime we never met, but we can work together.
Yes. So sometimes what is happening, we have resources, but we don't have people to manage those resources. Like I'm having project, I'm now returning back more than 5 lakh out of that project because that is unspent. I could not organize workshop. I could not do means other expenditure. So these kind of platforms where we can maybe another small publication we can come with up so that we can work means that because there are certain limitation with one person how much he can extend. So when we have common platform, just drop one message. Yeah, this is my requirement. I'm working in this area. Anyone interested? We can collaborate. So yes, obviously that is what I'm saying. Let's make this forum very sustainable forum where next time whenever if you need any expert in particular area, just drop a message. If you need any lecture on any topic or you want any information about journal, just drop a message. You'll get the information free of cost because we all are member of that forum.
Right.
And anytime next time you are organizing a workshop, just drop a message. We will participate. So yes, this is how I'm saying that. So next time if you'll think of organizing the same, there will be no worry about from where I will manage the resources, how from where I'll get the students. So that is how. And globally now teams are working. If you talk about in the publication sector also, globally teams are working. So that is also very important. So in this way we can also yes, sure, I'm sure that Professor Singh and Professor Yadav, they might be noting this and they will provide us this platform also. Like they have provided this platform, they will think of this and we can further go with the maybe conference, national, international conference through the same forum. So that is my submission to you, Professor Singh and Professor Yadav.
So we are in process, sir. We are in process
surely
for conducting both the things which you mentioned just now. So
Let's
definitely we will include both the things.
Now I'm getting little over ambitious. Let's come with one our department journal where we will publish some papers and we'll go for indexing and all that. So
Well,
let's explore further.
Sure, sir.
well, if you allow me and if you add me, sir, then we can discuss, and I would love to do my part, and I would love to give my the little bit knowledge I have. I can also share that for the benefit of the community. I'm happy to do.
Yes, sure.
Surely.
The same here. So same here. I also wish to contribute and I also wish to collaborate.
And this platform is particularly for the collaboration itself.
Yeah.
We are always open here. Yes. Good morning. So any other point you want to discuss? I think when is the next session?
Sir, I have a point. Sir, I have one thing to ask you.
Yes.
So my question to you is that now government is coming up with a scheme of scrap policy for the automobile sector. Even the vehicles which are not emitting pollution, and of course they might be running for a span of around 15 years. Now, as a sustainability advocate, what will be your advice to the government? Like what needs to be done to the automobiles which are running very well? Like I have a vehicle which was lying for 4 years in the house. So for around 4 years, it was not running in the on the roads. Now it has crossed the limit of 15 years. But now government is coming up that you need to scrap that and get all the things done, even if it is not emitting pollution.
I got your point. Actually, you are talking about that vehicle which already you have used for 15 years or 4 years or 10 years. But government has banned many vehicles, many bikes which were not even out of the showrooms. They banned BS3 engines. They came up with BS4 engine. So all the bikes initial cost around 90,000. They have to sell those bikes around 40,000, 35,000, and this happened around, I think, 4 years back when they banned this BS4 engines, BS3 engines. So this policy, that is what I'm saying. So when you are coming with R&D team, you should do the life cycle assessment of your product. How much you are going to pollute. Now today you are saying that they are coming with some this type of engine, petrol, diesel, they are polluting. Next, maybe after 1 year, they will come with very strong solution as e-vehicle already concept is there. So they need to commercialize. So what they will do, they will ban all the vehicles and okay, they are polluting, but after that, so much waste will be generated in terms of you are scrapping all those vehicles. So that we need to have that vision in our mind. Whether we are going to, this is for Jio banned all other players. This is for short-term strategy, 1 year, 2 years. Okay, so what after 10 years, what after 20 years, what after 50 years? So that is what I'm saying. Whenever there is challenge of competition, I want to exploit more market. I will not say that I will not sell this product because this is emitting more pollution. Never, I will never say. Okay, only what government should do, they should force these players, whosoever manufacturing any product, but whether it's Baba Ramdev or whether it is anyone else, Walmart, they should highlight very clearly on the packaging that this is the life cycle assessment parameters for manufacturing one product. I have used this much environment, this much we have degraded, this much waste will be left out. Then it's up to me as consumer whether I want to use that or other alternative is there. And what will happen after 10 years, after that 10 years after the usage, right? That information should be there. I think we have that much mentality in the people. May not be very high, but 20 to 25%, they will at least they will think of this before using that one, right? So, but yes, likewise pointed, we need to change the mind also. So whenever next time you are going to replace your vehicle, four-wheeler, that should not come with a sedan. That should come with the bike. That can come with bicycle also, like I have purchased. Okay. So initially, my students put the status with my pic, taking pic on the cycle. And our professor is very concerned about the environment. But then professor, after some few days, again started using the car. So that mind we need to change, and for that we need this consistent input in our mind. Okay, we need to avoid that pollution. Okay, so that we need to change.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Professor Singh, shall we go for tea? Anything, any arrangement for the participants?
Sir, might have a question, please, sir.
Yeah, sir. Professor Singh, you can provide us coupons. All the participants, we can have our own tea. So, nearby restaurant coupon, you can provide them, and they can enjoy their dinner with their families. So they will send you wishes. They can share the pics.
We are arranging, sir. Google coupon, we are in the process of arranging that so that every participant will enjoy a high tea.
Yes. Sure. So, once
thank
again,
you all the participants and Professor Vikas Thakur for giving enriching thoughts to all of us. And Our next session will be of marketing challenges in sustainability. There is a slight change where Professor Mayank will be taking this next session, and the financial challenges in sustainability will be shifted to tomorrow's very first session. So kindly bear us for this minor change, and we'll meet at 11:45. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Singh and Professor Yadav, for providing us this platform for sharing our thoughts. So it was not lecture. I actually enjoyed discussion. So thank you very much, participants. Very good audience, and
So kindly
I'm
share
sure
your
that
PPT.
we'll work in collaboration in future.
Ma'am, don't worry. Ma'am, don't worry. We will share all the PPTs, all the session PPTs as we accumulate all of them. Don't worry.
So
yes.
So sir, in the we have to join the session of which marketing challenges? We have to join that particular link.
No. You have to join the same session, that is financial challenges, because that is scheduled on that today's date.
Otherwise, again, you can share the link, Professor Singh. Otherwise, again, you can share the link in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'm sharing that particular link in a WhatsApp group so that there should be no confusion.
Okay.
Right.
I'll be at your service, all the participants.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Das. Thank you, Dr. Singh.
Thank you, ma'am.